Hello, my name is Gabisile Motuba. I am a jazz singer, composer, and educator based in South Africa. Over the years, I've been featured in a few albums, featuring a few great South African artists and composers, including Rosie, Malcolm Braff, but he's a Swiss musician, and also the album that incorporates electronics, which has been the Wretched. I'm also an educator, so I think of sound as more of a philosophical practice as opposed to just a performative tool. Yeah.
And just going forward and talking about the Line6, can you talk about perspective as a vocalist and inserting the voice into electronics and what that opens up?
Yes, so what it does is that I can move from being in an ensemble to being a solo artist. And that's allowed me, of course, to travel more freely and to kind of have a lot of solo shows that are vocal kind of focused. Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, it speaks to, you know, kind of the element of problem solving, which is what us as African artists have always had to grapple with. You know, music is also a very class kind of specific engagement. And once an artist ventures a lot into the solo realm, you do realize you need to have a little bit more gear in order for that solo performance to take place, right? And that gear comes with money, comes with resources. So, you know, this collective kind of, I guess, capability of us as Africans has also allowed us to be able to occupy that space of solo artism with that shared, you know, the shared perspective of, okay, you know, we can't afford everything, but we're able to kind of make these resources accessible to people who can't necessarily get the latest stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just on your introduction to this was, this particular pedal was through me, but you
Yes.
had the, what's the other pedal? What's the regular?
The voice tone, yeah. This one, it's a kind of a looper, a voice looper, and it provides me with intervals as opposed to like the recent ones which provide you with triads, you know, like fixed chords, like 1, 3, 5. So this one kind of moves in semitones, which is very nice. Tones or semitones, and of course it has like the octave up and octave down. This is very unique because it allows me to kind of introduce a lot of tensions in my vocal improv, which is not very common. Yeah, and that makes me like stand out a little bit from the other singers, but it also just grows my ear, and that helps me. That also informs me as a jazz musician, because I don't always want to hear consonant sounds. I really enjoy, you know, grappling with the dissonance of sound. So this is the go-to for dissonant sound.
And then it goes into.
Then it goes, yeah, into the Line6. It's very limited. I mean, this is just a harmony tool, the voice tone. So this one, what it does, it helps me to control what comes out of the telecom. A feature that I really love that Line6 allows me to do, which is not very usual, is that it has a mix, what is it, like volume knob that allows me to, after I've looped for a long time, I don't have to cut during performances. So I can control my volume down, but I don't necessarily affect anyone else on stage, which is incredible, because a lot of the times I have to communicate with the sound engineer and say, no, reduce it. So here I have like that control, like
And then the way that you use it is not usual to how people loop on the Line6, because so there's the 4 toggles that you have. You have like the record,
the start stop.
The start stop, and then you have the sample, like the play once, which is almost like a sample thing, and then you have the 4th one, which is almost like a sample thing, and then you have the 4th one, which is like it's a
half speed and reverse.
Half speed and reverse.
Yeah.
But you keep. I've seen you generally in performances keep the record going on a consistent basis, which allows you to layer a lot. Yes. So
so I use of course the record one and the play, and like you say, I keep it on. I don't like also what I enjoy about Line6 is that it allows me to move. It allows more fluidity in time. Right, so I don't layer in such a way that this is linear to this and then it's on top of that. And I like to have a conversation of what I hear, and then I respond to it, and it responds for me. So it's like we're co-composing with the Line6. So sometimes I'm also very, I'm surprised by the layers that are caused, and then I have to respond, so it allows for that co-composing process. It's sort of like what I do is that I introduce an idea to it, and however the looping lands kind of also develops that idea. So it's not just me having control of the development of the idea. Sometimes even in the response, that also affects my reaction to it. So it's not to say that I'm taking the idea away, but I do, we're co-composing. It's the Line6 is composing with me. It's responding to how I sing, my pitch, my tone, but it's also responding in such a way that is not predictable. I like the unpredictability of what I hear when obviously it echoes back into the monitors. We can speak about, it's like it holds so much sound, right? And this is like a very radical intervention, because like it allows for a change of perspective depending on whose hands it's holding. So that in and of itself is like a beautiful, like a poetic idea, to say that if it's in the hands of this person, they kind of use it in a specific way to create a specific idea, right? But it doesn't have to end there. This is not like, it's not a static thing. It's like it's a moving idea, so that in and of itself, I think, is quite radical. Oh.